Juju Watkins, speaking of future MVPs in this league. So we're gonna talk about the UConn game. We're gonna bring that up in like a minute. But she recently had this to say. Juju Watkins says players should have the option to leave early for the WNBA. And God bless your heart, because her and I agree on this. Her quote was, I want to personally, so she was on a podcast. She said, I want to say personally, I am enjoying my experience regarding college. Coach Watkins said, I definitely think we should have the option. There has just been such a growth in college basketball where it's like, why would you want to leave? What are your thoughts about, players leaving early into the WNBA? And you know where I stand. I'm gonna repeat it, but go. What are your thoughts about that?
I think they should have the right to, if you're good enough to do something. I mean, I was thinking, because like I knew that we were going to talk about this, and I was thinking about what other sport can they not do this? What other league can they not? I mean, do they have to stay so many years till you're 22? Even the NFL softened up their rules like a little bit,
That's a good point.
who was it, like Amobi Okoye or something, like 15 years ago? I think he went to the NFL. He was like 19 or 20 or something like that. Like he was super young.
He was young, yes. He got drafted from Boise State, yes. He
Yeah,
did,
he
yeah.
he was super young.
But he
But
played in college for 4 years. Yeah.
and then
For three.
basketball is like one season, but then they really just play in some other league, so they get paid for it. Now there's NIL, but it's like baseball. You just go to the minor leagues, or you get drafted at high school. Like this is the only league. I mean,
Jordan.
correct me if I'm wrong, but like I don't know.
Jordan, so good. I knew the comments. I don't want one and done. The comments are going crazy on this. They're like, nah, disagree. Nope, not even. She's not ready. Juju not even ready for the WNBA. Nikki said, I don't want one and dones. Mike said, I disagree. Bad idea for all. Juju would benefit with more college years. Riverdance says, name one.
Well, that's I mean,
Riverdance. Hold on, let me ask this. Name one player besides Brittany Griner that would prosper with no experience. I got a few, but I don't want to say them. I'll go. Where
well,
you say?
I think like, because I quickly read through all the comments also, but like they're talking about two different things. Like one, should they have the option? That's the question that you asked me. And
Correct.
two, would it be good for like the sport or good for the player if they did? I agree with all the commenters actually. I don't think they should, but they should have the option to, you know? I think she should stay in college, and kind of get another year under her belt, and just kind of prepare for the pro league. But should she have the option to? I think she should have the option to if she wanted to.
To answer the question, though, I would say Candace Parker would be number two to answer that question. To answer Riverdance's question, I feel like watching Candace Parker as well. Brittany Griner, obviously 6'8", she was ready for the league when she left. When she left high school, but I feel like Candace Parker would have been a number one pick, number two pick. She'd have been a top 5 pick for sure, leaving high school. I'm not gonna say Maya Moore because she's playing guard, so it's a little bit different. But Maya had the talent to do it. The other person I'd say honestly is Breanna Stewart and/or Asia Wilson. I feel like the two of them could have played, but again, it's just about the strength. So I disagree with you, Jordan. I think that if they have, well, wait, what were you saying that they should have the ability to?
So the question you asked me is, should they have the option to leave
Yes, I
early?
agree.
I
Yes.
agree with that. We agree with that. Should she actually leave though,
Talking about Juju.
for the sake of her development as a player and for the sake of like one and dones, developing relationships with college players? That's why we love Caitlin, because we watched her for so many years in college. We followed her to the pros, and like all the fans kind of just followed her over. But should she? I don't think she should, but she should have the option to.
So Coach Gottlieb agreed with you with this point. This is Lindsay Gottlieb's comment on that same topic. If you look at somebody like Caitlin Clark, the platform of women's college basketball remains bigger. The eyes of the game remain bigger. So the deal she gets coming into the W and the financial power she has is greater because of the platform she had the last 2 years of college. If she had left after her sophomore year, she would have been ready basketball wise. So we could stop right there. She would have been ready basketball wise. She just acknowledged that Caitlin was talented enough to play out of the WNBA as a sophomore. Now I'm going to continue, but
Is
she
this
would.
is this her coach saying that?
That's the coach. Yes, that's Lindsay Gottlieb. That's not Lisa Bluter. That's Lindsay Gottlieb, the coach of USC. So she said that she was talented enough to play basketball wise. So that says 20. That's at 19, 20 years old. And that's where I agree with her. I'm like, if you're talented enough to go to the league, you need to go to the league. And I understand when people are saying the salaries are different, NIL, this and that. Again, if you get an NIL deal, you can go like again. Angel Reese had an NIL deal with Reebok, but she right now is with Reebok in the league. So I don't see why that would change any different if she's doing the same thing. Get your NIL deal, go to the league, etc. And now, if you, I don't know if you know this already, Adidas signed their first high school prospect with Kalena Smith, the guard,
Oh, that.
the number one guard in the nation right now in high school. I want to say she's a junior. Is signed right now with Adidas. Period. So now the fact that we see that this landscape is changing, you're going to have more athletes that are younger getting these types of sponsorship deals with programs and with franchises. I'm sorry, with sponsors, and they're going to go into the league with already some type of financial backing. So again, and just to add this, the CBA is getting ready to change. The CBA is getting ready to change where everybody's going to be getting paid soon. So the fact that if finances weren't a problem, I don't even see why this is a talking point. Truthfully, like I don't. Because would you? I'm gonna ask you this, Jordan. If
So
you're
wait, wait. So do you think Juju should not stay in college? Like, you don't think she has anything left to gain from Coach Gottlieb, or to develop as a player at all? Like she has nothing left to
that was my
she
point.
has nothing left to get out of college.
That was my question right there. So would you, if you're a talented prospect, would you rather play against Ryan Howard and develop, or would you rather play against name a player?
Anybody, like,
Insert
yeah.
collegiate player here. Insert. I don't even want to like. I'm not trying to call it any. Would you rather develop? Gilbert Arenas makes this point too. It's like you're not going to have to worry about studying for school
But
midterms and doing stuff that you have irrelevant stuff. If you're able to play in the league, Luka was playing pro at 13.
but it
Like, what are
sounds
we
like,
talking about?
so it sounds like you don't believe that collegiate
No.
sports has anything to offer, anything at all. If you like, why even do it? Why not do things just for professional, like just get to a professional league?
I
Like,
mean,
I mean,
if the goal is to play in the pros, yeah, absolutely. That's the point. You want to get to the pros. So yeah, that part I agree with. If you're trying to get to the pros, what better place to develop than the pros? Do you
so
think?
you don't think that like Kobe Bryant could have gotten anything from Coach K?
I mean, you tell me. Like he played there at 17. Okay, better question. Do you
I
think?
mean, did Michael Jordan get anything out of Dean Smith, or
He
should
became a
he have
better
just gone
player?
to the league in 1982 or whatever?
Do you think Kobe became a better player playing with the Lakers for his first 2 years and working out with Nick Van Exel and working out with Brian Scott versus playing with 2 kids or 5, 10 kids that aren't going to make to the league anyway?
I mean, it just sounds like you are arguing against the validity and, like, I guess, like, helpfulness of a collegiate program. You know, like it's like you're kind of saying like
In
collegiate.
comparison to the pros, yeah, it's
Yeah,
there.
I
Yeah,
so I mean, so like, are you saying that Michael Jordan should just went straight to the pros
he
and
wasn't
not
good
play
enough.
and
He
not played
wasn't
under
good
Dean
enough.
Smith?
He was not good enough. He wasn't good enough. That's why he had to go to college for 3 years. If you're good enough, you need to go. You need to go. He wasn't good enough to play at a college. He got cut from his JV team 2 years before he went. He wasn't good enough, and that's okay. He wasn't good enough.
I guess I'm just trying to understand, like, so you so like, if a player, I mean, why can't bad players just skip collegiate ball then and just try for the NBA? Why can't I just go straight to the NBA? You know, like when
I don't
I was
understand. Now
17.
I don't understand your
But
point.
you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't, it's like it's like you seem to not think that a collegiate program can offer anything to players, like they shouldn't stay there. I totally understand if they're totally ready, but like, I mean, players do develop in college, and there is a place for, the system in terms of player development. You know what I'm saying? There's a role that it does play. I mean, so many players reference their collegiate experience as helping them develop as not just pros but professionals as well. Dwayne Wade used to talk about Tom Crean all the time. People reference Krzyzewski all the time, and Roy Williams and Dean Smith. Everyone loves Dean Smith. So it's just, I just think that there is a place for it. Obviously, if
I agree. I think that their college should have a standing, but I'm saying if you're good enough to leave, you need to leave. There's no point of saying like you can develop in the league. That's the whole point. They're gonna take, especially if they draft you young, they're gonna take their time and really develop you into a player. Like To me, it's not even a question
So we're in agreement
that
that
they should have
players
the
should have the option.
for sure.
So I agree with that, but well, first of all, I just want to like, come on, man, Gottlieb is never going to go against anything his star player has to say.
Well,
Like,
she did. I mean, she did. She said that they should stay. She said that they should stay. When the WNBA gets their salaries worth not going to college, we'll see a change. I don't understand why it's crazy for one of the biggest prospects in women basketball to go pro. I agree with you 1,000,000%, Dev. Look at Nika, Peely, and a lot of rookies ride benches. I mean, okay, cool. They can develop in the league. Like, I don't get what you're saying. Like, you're telling me she's not gonna be good? Kobe playing with Coach K would have been good for him. We don't know that. Kobe would have been Kobe. I agree with you on that. It can backfire. I mean, I guess it can backfire, but most of the time, these players that leave early, they do better. They do better than they would younger.
but sometimes it does backfire.
Sometimes, I mean, most of the time, yes, of course. There's always yeah, of course. Something can happen, but most of the time it doesn't. They actually get better playing against tougher competition like that. I don't that part. I don't even think it's a talking point for me.